Hello, good evening to you all. Once again, this man welcoming you back to CaterGraphix. Today we'll be preparing a business card for Empress Fashion World, and this business card is going to be very simplified that you could use it for printing and for other purposes. Apart from that, we'll also be learning some other tips and tricks on how to speed up your workflow. So without wasting time, let's get right into it. So for this tutorial, what we'll be needing the size of a business card. Okay, this is not the basic size of a business card, but what size we are going to need is going to be bleeded. I'll tell you what bleeding means for those of us who don't know what that means. Is a simple cut out in the edges of a flyer, so you shouldn't make your design appear around that corner. So let's get in so that I'll show you a practical aspect of bleeding in business card. So we'll be needing a size. Let's create our new artboard. So we'll be needing a size of 3613 by 2349. That's the basic size I found, or I discovered, that's compatible with most printers, or almost all printers, because I've done works for local printers and also foreign printers, and I understood that this format works perfectly well. So that's the format we have right on our screen. So since we'll be creating two different versions of a front and the back version of these cards, we'll be needing the artboard to be doubled. So that's why I make this double in this angle, then click OK. So it's doubled in this aspect, but we don't want it to be so. We want it to be clamped up and down. What you do, we go over to your artboard panel, click on artboard. But if you can't see that over there, if you can't see that over there, sorry, you click on Windows, then you see your artboard over here. You click on it and you're gonna find that. So when you find your artboard here, let me zoom closely, select the both of them, then go to this panel, the rearrange all artboard, click on it. Here click on this aspect, this down button. Okay, when you click on this, it is in column, 2 columns. When you remove it, make it 1 column, then you click on this arrow down, you click on OK. Automatically it will switch to this. So one thing again we'll be needing is to invite our, I use the word invite, we invite our ruler, because we'll be needing this ruler so we don't design beyond the lines we initially talked about. So before we create our rulers, we have to create our background color. What color would we use here? Since the logo is in gold, we'll be needing to use black. So let's use black for this and also black for this. For instance, if you don't want these layers to be, I don't like the fact that there is, okay, if you don't want this two artboard to be too close to each other, select on your artboard tool at the left corner here. Okay, when you select on the particular one you want to bring down, then pull it down according to your desire. So now we have that. We can now duplicate this by holding the Alt key and dragging out. We place it in this same format. Then we have to lock the two of them. Why we lock them? So that whenever we are designing inside there, we don't have the issue of I need to make this black. We don't have the issue of it moving around with the same layers. Okay, probably you want to move something here. If you drag in, you are going to move the background you're already working on, so we don't want that. What you're going to do is to lock them up. So select the two of them, you go over to your layer panel over here, then click on this icon to lock them. Okay, automatically they are locked. I have a problem with one of these is not okay, everything is okay. So what you do, click and lock the both of it. Okay, now we are locked in the both layers. What we need to do is to start preparing our design. Very simple. Import your logo. That's the first thing you need to do. Import your logo in the front page. Okay, then you can expand it to whatever size you wish. You can center it if you like, or you could push it to the other line, but we'll be creating something here before we do that. So let's invite our ruler. So click on option, find your ruler, show ruler, show ruler. Now we are going to use this ruler to create the bleeds. Okay, these bleeds, you see what the bleed is all about. It's the point. Let's finish creating. Duplicate this for this aspect. Just walk around with your bleed. Mustn't be perfect, but can be close to that. So we also create another ruler by this angle, and we duplicate it all as well. So you see what we have here, the middle here is where we want to design. We wouldn't like to design and get to this other extent. It will be very bad. So if you don't like the color of your ruler grid, what you're gonna do is click on I think it is in view. No, not in view. Click on edit. Let me zoom closely so you see what we are doing. Click on edit, go to preference and scroll down till you find guide and grid. Find guide and grid, click on this icon over here, then select whatever color. So let's use red and click on OK. So our grid color have changed to red and everything. Now we can see clearly what we are doing. So now we are done with the front page. Let's go to the back page to create our business card. So first thing we need to do is to create the name of the business owner. So the name of this business owner will be using white as this color. Let's write first before we get to that. Zoom to expand this. So now the name of the owner is Comfort. Comfort A. Okay, Adiele or Comfort, whatever. So we change the color to white so we can see what is going on there. So what next? You expand it because the name hierarchy, I thought it was about hierarchy. The name needs to be more obvious than the others. The font we'll be using now is called Made Tommy. We'll be using the bold one for the Comfort, and the letter one will be using the thin one, the light version of the stuff. So we are good with that. We can push it to the right, reduce a little, push to the right and top. So we are good with the name. Now what we need to import is an icon. I have a series of icons I prepared over here, so we are going to use this particular one. I like using this regularly, as you guys can see. So expand it a little to match also with your contact size, I mean the font size. Okay, so now we are going to change the color to green because that's the green for mobile. If you want to dial a call, that's the color you use. I don't like the green. Let's make it a little more brighter. Okay, that's very okay. So what next we need to do now is to add a description of this Comfort. Who is Comfort to this business? So that's what's going to be under here. But we're not going to use the same hierarchy. We're going to use this other font, the thin one. So Comfort is the CEO of this business. So hierarchy, working here again, select or reduce the size. This will waste much of our time, so let's make it 100. Very good. Like 120 will be okay. Very good. So now we have that Comfort is the CEO of this business. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 thing you need to do now is to import the contact detail, which is her name and location, and also the Facebook information. So let's select this. We have selected we select the Facebook, and we also select for contacts. So we selected these 3. Let's move over to our artboard and drop it there, or drop them there. So we drop them there. We first of all select the contact information, or select everything and increase the size to your appropriate or desired size. Then we can start working. So first we select the contact detail and we post or pose it here. The next we select our location, which is the next important thing after the contact detail. And finally we select our Facebook or Instagram icon. Okay, so this is very simple. The Facebook icon, I think we can go with, or we could go with blue, since we are working on a white background. So everything works perfectly well here. Now let me show you a trick. If peradventure we don't like colors to work at the background here, I just don't like colors all over this place. I want everything to be unique, like what is going on in this angle, okay, in this other aspect. So what are we going to do? I'll show you what you're going to do, but let's get done with our information first. So we duplicate that one and make sure your line is according to the text, all lines are equal, and according to the icons, all lines are equal. That's also one thing you need to learn about typography. Make sure everything is aligned accordingly. Let it look very matured and simple. So we're going to use dormant number here: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0, and that is it. You can add your plus in the beginning. So that is the contact detail for this business. Now next we are going to add the location. Okay, location, we can say Abuja. Abuja is going to be in capital. It's okay like that. You can make it first letter capital and less small. It's okay still. So the next is the business name on Facebook and Instagram. So this we can make it Empress, and this is going to come with the first, all of them are going to become a small letter. Empress Fashion World. Okay, so now this is looking a little smaller than the others because it's in small letter. So we're going to increase the size to match with the others. And I think I still don't like the size is too big, so we select everything here, we reduce everything at once. Okay, make it look compacted and nicely. Ctrl Z, make it look compacted. What we forgot to do is to lock the grid. So when you are doing your own work, make sure you lock the grid. You see, as I'm trying to do something, it's moving these stuffs around. I don't want that. To lock the grid, select all aspects of the grid, select everything, and go to your grid panel option and lock all of it. Lock all of it. Okay, by so doing, the grid can be selected again. So let's continue with our work. Now we have this, the card is basically done but not totally done. Let's import only the logo icon this time around. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. So we select only our logo icon. We don't want this, so you can delete this for now, or even delete everything here for now. So select only your logo icon. Let's move it right into our design. So we don't mind the fact that it pops out from this other angle. We are going to treat that in the later part of this tutorial. So make sure the most important aspect of the design comes into the line of this grid. I told you guys, I taught us about that before now. So let's not make the mistake of putting anything above that line, because whenever it will be cut out, you won't see that part of design. So next you are going to do is to reduce the opacity, because we are not going to let it compete with the one in the front line. So opacity to this opacity to like 50 or so will work very fine. I think it's okay for us. So now next thing we are going to do, you know, sometimes it looks ugly this way, but whenever you come with the final product, you see everything brightens up and makes more sense than it is. So next we are going to do, we are going to walk around with some strokes or lines to make or finalize our logo design. So this time around we are going to play around with this part, but before we do that, let's work with this. I told you guys I don't like how everything is in color here, so let's change every color to become the same as what we have in the logo. So we are trying to unify everything and make everything look very close to what we have in the front page. So select everything, hold on Ctrl Shift and click on O. everything will be traced, image traced, and select and pick on your color. Once again, you can just pick on a simplified version of the color. So you see everything now is working, is now coming in place. Everything is coming in place. Control group. Everything is coming in place. This is too close to this aspect. I don't like it, so reduce it a little, let it get to its own angle. I like it like so. So now next thing we are going to do is to work on the front page. I want to add a little sort of design to this front page. Okay, so we reduce the logo icon and put it to the left. Now let's start working on our lines. Our lines is going to be very simple, but it's going to still bear the look of the logo color. Okay, so now we stroke a line from this angle to this angle first, or I don't like that, Ctrl Z. So let's start from here to here. Okay, so now let's increase our stroke line, so we'll be using that for the later version of the designs. Okay, we have that one. Now let's do the number 2. I like the fact it's using this color, but I don't like this color, so let's choose our initial color, flip it here, and we delete this. So we're using our initial color. Let's increase the size to our choice. So that's our choice over there. Next, we are going to stroke another line from where? Okay, let's stroke another line from here to here. Will that be okay? Okay, we stroke another line from here to here. We stroke another line from this angle to this angle. We stroke another line from this angle to this angle. Okay, it mustn't be perfectly the same width. We stroke another line from this angle to this angle, and we stroke another line from this angle to center here. I think this is okay for the start. So now what we are going to do here is to select everything here, go to objects and expand it. Okay, we have expanded it, and that's just what we need. Now we expanded it, let's select our color once again and apply that. So our color is applied and everything works fine, but not very fine as we want. So we need to move some other aspects to the back, like these parts. We want them to be moved to the back because they are overshowing on the front line. So select all of them, move them to the back. So move them to the back of this other one. That look nice. That look nice. Bring this down a little. Very good. So move this other two to the back too. Move it to the back of everything. Very good. So we are good with that line, and I'm going to show you how this looks, or you already see how it looks on the future. So this is how we create our business card, a simple business card. So let's make this work for us. Click on, we can now hide our grids, they are no more needed. Click on view and trim view. Trim view is going to show you how your work is going to look in real life. Okay, I'm going to show you how your work is going to look in real life. If in case we want to do more work or further work on this, we can select them and move them backwards. Okay, I think it's better this way, or is it too much? Ctrl Z. So we're gonna increase our logo size a little so everything look neatly placed. So this is simply how we create our logo. To export this is very simple. You know what to do. To your printer, click on Control Alternative Save to export it. Export, always export as PDF. Okay, always export it as PDF. So we are now exporting, and make sure you optimize it for fast web view and okay, everything is okay here. So we export, and that is it, our business card out there. We may have issues of running extra layers and okay, everything works very fine now. Everything works very fine. So that is it, and that is how to create your simple business card. If you mock this up, it looks very nicely. You have seen what I did there. So next we'll be preparing a little more complex version of this, and we'll be doing that for Shanky Essential Care. Have a wonderful day. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, and also remember to ring the notification bell if you have done so, and share this video to your friends to learn more on how to create business cards. Have more tutorial coming up this week, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. Peace and happy Sunday.